I would like to congratulate the second year volunteer students for taking up this opportunity. And in the audience, we have not only second year electronics, but also the seniors, that is third year electronics. So you can see there around 120 students have joined so far. Okay. So in this session, the second year volunteer students will making us aware that what basically the filters are, what is the actual meaning of filter, the application of filter, and why do we require a filter. And then obviously they'll be giving us a hands-on on it, wherein they'll be using specifically MATLAB, because MATLAB is a software where we all are pretty aware of, like what is basically MATLAB, what is the interface and everything. So no doubt they will help with us in that fashion as well. So I expect that we all will be completely participative and interactive to whatever the second year volunteer students submit as far as these filters are concerned. So I thank you. Especially I congratulate and appreciate their efforts, their concern. Literally, they are working on it for the past 2 to 3 weeks. They were literally struggling for the same, because whatever conversation I had with them, it depicts the way they are working on it. So I really congratulate them. Thank you very much for this. I highly oblige you for taking up this opportunity and giving up your expertise on this. Over to you, students. Like the stage is yours. You can start with the presentations. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Renuka. Me and my group today are going to give a presentation, and today's agenda is filters. So today we are going to see the introduction towards the filters and some of the basic concepts related to filters. On है ना mic?
हाँ mic on है.
एक second. So today's agenda is filters. Here we are going to see the introduction, basic concept, classification of filters, its designing steps, and finally we are going to see its practical implementation. So before going to the introduction, can you please anyone answer what do you think? What are filters? Yes, please. Anyone?
Yes,
Hello?
we have studied until now about filters. They basically allow some frequencies to pass and uh, filter out the other frequencies. That way.
Yeah, thank you. So basically the function of a filter is to remove the unwanted part of the signal like noise, and we can use the filters also to extract some band of frequencies over a wide range of frequencies. Then before going to the classification of filters, we shall see some of the basic concepts related to filters. First we shall see cutoff frequency. Cutoff frequency is nothing but the frequency at which the response changes from passband to stop band. Here it's noted by FC. As you can see, this is the cutoff frequency. Here we have taken the example of low pass filter, and the cutoff frequency is also known as the corner frequency or the break frequency, and it is given by 1 upon 2 pi RC. The cutoff frequency can be changed by changing the values of R and C. Next, we shall see pass band. What is pass band? It is the band of frequency that is allowed to pass through the filter with the maximum efficiency. For example, here 0 to FC is the pass band. Like if we take another example, for example, if we take the radio receiver, so the antenna receives a wide range of frequencies while the receiver selects a particular band of frequencies and pass through it. Then next, what is stop band frequency? It is the frequency, nothing but, which is blocked by the filters. So here, as you can see that from FC to above, that is to infinite, it is the stop band frequency. The next, transition band. It is nothing but the band between the pass band and the stop band. Like the transition band of the filter largely depends on the order of the filter. Higher the order, narrow will be the band, and if the order is the low, the band will be wider. And bandwidth. Bandwidth is nothing but the difference between the upper and lower 3 dB points. Here, simply the width of the passband is nothing but the bandwidth. Next, we are going to see the gain of the filter. The gain is nothing but the amplification factor of the filter. And here I have taken the example of first order low pass filter. So the gain is given by V out divided by Vin, which is equal to AF divided by under root 1 plus F divided by FC whole bracket square, where AF is the passband gain and it is given by 1 plus R2 divided by R1, and F is the frequency of the input signal, which is measured in hertz, and FC is the cutoff frequency, which is also measured in hertz. Then next, we shall see the magnitude response. Magnitude response is nothing but simply the ratio of amplitudes of the frequencies in the input signal, in the output signal, to the amplitude of frequencies to the input signal. Here I have taken an example of ideal low pass filter. So from 0 to FC, the efficiency is high, that is 100%, and above FC, the efficiency is low, and the magnitude response is represented by H. Then next, we shall see ripple factor. Ripple factor is nothing but the effectiveness of the circuit, and it is defined as the ratio of RMS value of AC component to the average value of the DC component. Here, the ripple factor is given by IAC divided by IDC. As you can see here, these are the errors in the passband, and they are called as passband ripple, and they are given by Amax. And these are the errors in the stop band, and they are known as stop band ripples, and they are given by Amin. The next is transfer function. So transfer function is nothing but simply the ratio of output upon input, and it is usually expressed in the logarithmic scales, that is in dB, and the formula for is JW j omega is equal to 20 log to the base 10 V out j omega to V in of j omega. Then next is poles. Poles is nothing but the roots of the transfer function when we make the denominator is equal to 0. And zeros are nothing but roots of the transfer function when we make the numerator is equal to 0. The next is order of the filter. So it is obtained from the transfer function. It is nothing but the highest degree in the transfer function. So the maximum delay in the samples used in creating each output sample is nothing but the order of the filter. Higher the order, the transition band will be narrow, and lower the order, the transition band will be wider. Now next, we shall see roll-off. What is roll-off? Roll-off is the rate at which the filter response falls in the transition band. As you can see here, this is the roll-off of first order filter. As the order increases, the transition band becomes narrow. Then next, we shall see the basic classifications of filters. Firstly, filters are classified as analog filters and digital filters. So first we shall see what are analog filters. Analog filters are the filters which processes the analog signals, and they are constructed using active or passive components. The filters which are constructed using as active components like op-amps, transistors, and it may also include a resistor and capacitor. So these are called as active filters. And next, passive filters, the filters which are constructed using the passive elements like resistor, capacitor, and inductor. So these are called as the passive filter. The frequency response of an analog filter can be modified by changing the component values, and the applications of analog filter: noise reduction, video signal enhancement, preamplification, equalization, tone control in audio systems, and there are many more applications of analog filter. Now we shall see digital filters. So digital filters are basically used to process the digital signals. So these are nothing but the filters which are added on chip that electronic digital signals such as MCU, that's microcontroller, and SoC, system on chip registers or DSPs used for digital filtering. Then digital filter are more precise compared to the analog filter. Then digital filter work by oversampling and adding multiplication, delay element, etc. And they are programmable. Then the applications of digital filter are speech modeling, speech analysis, averaging filter, then multi-rate signal processing, etc. Then next, we shall see the classification of the filters based on the frequency response. So the
View. So let us now start to go through one of the 4 configurations that we are going to go through. Is my screen being presented? Yes. Yes, so basically we shall start with the Butterworth filter. So Butterworth filter is a type of signal processing filter designed to have a frequency response which is as flat as possible in the passband. This is a very important point to note, that the only one of the reasons why you would want to choose a Butterworth filter is because it has a very flat response in the passband, as I'll demonstrate later on. So basically here we can see all of us know what is a low pass filter, a high pass filter, band pass, and a band stop. And here we have also here, as Renuka may have mentioned, here is the ideal brick wall response, what we call it as, and here is the practical response of any given filter. So, and another thing which it was important, yes, this was the thing. So pass band responses are the basis on which, amongst other things, these filters are designed, or these filters were improved. So a Butterworth filter has a flat pass band, and a stop band is monotonic, and it has relatively good roll off, but not as good as all the 4 configurations which my friends will explain later on. And the step response is relatively good. And so here is what we call as rippling effect in the pass band and also in the stop band. Here we can see that the Butterworth filter here, it has a maximally flat response in the pass band, and it is also flat in the stop band. But an important thing to note here is that there is a considerable roll off, or basically it isn't as it isn't close to the ideal response as we would want. So that is another thing that that is the reasons why why the other filters were designed and why they're actually used. And another thing important here thing to note here is Butterworth filters are designed only using poles, while the other 3 Butterworth filters are all so it was only for the low pass filters. So let us go through one solved example. So here we have Butterworth band pass band stop filter. So here like this is a very typical example as to what will be given in a question. And we'll have the gain, we'll have the pass band gain, the stop band gain, the omega p1, omega p2, etc. So first of all, we start by choosing the least values between these 2 parameters. So the omega sa and the omega sp. And then later on, we apply our generic formula of the number of poles. The order of the Butterworth filter. It is important to note that this formula shall remain same throughout the 4 configurations. That is the low pass filter, high pass filter, band pass filter, and the band stop filter. Although we have to intuitively change this part of the equation, because so the simple way to remember that would be, if the answer of this equation is coming as negative, then you have to flip these 2, because for obvious reasons. So basically the omega s would be greater for the stop band, and that you will come to know intuitively. Also, another thing is that we start by designing it in a normalized way. So basically we design the first the prototype in a normalized fashion. So we take the omega p as 1 and the omega s as it has been mentioned in the question. As we have calculated here, the lowest value of these 2 parameters that we have calculated over here. And then from here, once we have calculated the order, here we can easily find out the poles and the equation from what is known as the Butterworth polynomials and the poles. So here we have the list. So here there is the order, and here are the list of the poles that we have. So we can easily substitute these. There's actually no reason for us to actually go through the intensive computation to find out the SK for multiple runs. And here we have the Butterworth polynomial table. Also note that this is h of s is equal to 1 by q of s. So please make sure that you substitute this in the denominator. So yes, so after that, since this is a prototype filter we have actually designed it using the low pass methodology. We have to make some transformations so that it goes to the so that it transforms into the bandstop filter that you want it to be designed as. And so here we do s substitute s as s upon omega s, and we get the h of s. And again, we have to substitute the above equation. Again, we have to substitute s as the omega p2 upon omega p1 s upon s square plus omega p1 omega p2. And here we shall finally end up with the answer of the bandstop filter. So yes, and after this you can implement this using like various methodologies, and yeah, that's about it. So yes, another thing is the basic rubrics of the algorithm of yes, we have to first choose the omega s, then you have to find out the number, the order of the filter, and then etc. etc. All of this remains the same regardless of whichever like configuration or whatever frequency response you want. Similarly, here in the Butterworth bandpass filter, there will be a few tweaks here and there because of obvious reasons, because the omega p here is smaller than the omega s, etc. So here you'll have to tweak a few formulae and you will arrive to the same answer. And so yes, and another thing, like you already might know this, but we only design the low pass filter with we only design it using poles, whereas the others we can see that there are zeros here. So we can see that there are zeros here in the band pass, in the band stop, and also in the band stop here, and others too. So this is what we can see. So now, yeah, also here for the high pass filter. So any doubts with respect to designing Butterworth filter on the basis of given parameters? No, I think we can go ahead. Pushkar, I think you can continue.
Fine, Shruti, you can start presenting.
Yeah, sure. I hope my screen is visible to all of you. So now we'll be embarking on this journey of Chebyshev filters, as we have already completed Butterworth. It's going to be very interesting because we'll be showing you a lot of practical things in this journey. So let's begin. So Chebyshev filters. So this Chebyshev name came from this Russian mathematician whose name is Chebyshev, obviously. So Chebyshev is preferred over Butterworth because it has a faster roll-off. You will see when you see the graphs later on. And we also know there are two basic type of Chebyshev filters. We'll be using the type 1 Chebyshev filter, but type 2 is also there, which we won't be seeing today. And this is a basic design of how the Chebyshev filter is done using resistors and op-amps and capacitors. So let's see. So the Chebyshev bins. So we know there are two basic type of Chebyshev filters, as I told you. So the type 1 Chebyshev filter is the basic type of Chebyshev filter, and it mostly consists of poles. There are no zeros. And in this case, you can see that the passband has a ripple, has an equi-ripple behavior. So what's an equi-ripple behavior? The equi-ripple behavior means the ripples are of equal size. So that's why it's called equi-ripple. And the type 2 Chebyshev filters have both poles and zeros in them, and the stop band in this case shows an equi-ripple behavior. So let's see the graph. So as you can see here, the pass band is showing an equi-ripple behavior, the height of the ripples are more or less the same, hence it's called equiripple. And the type 2 Chebyshev filter is showing a ripple in the stop band. And if you see, when they tell you to design some problems, they will tell you that they will give you the pass band gain, the stop band gain, all those things they will give you. And approximately you can see that this is the cutoff frequency here. So the corresponding gain you can see. And then in case of stop band, you can see the corresponding gain. They will specify that. So on the basis of that, we'll design the Chebyshev filter. So let's see it from a mathematical perspective, as we'll have to design it now. So first, we find the transfer function, because transfer function is basically going to give us the gain. So it is V out by Vin. So if you must have designed amplifiers in the previous semesters, you know that you do V out by Vn to find the gain. So same is the transfer function, which is in the Laplacian domain, basically the frequency domain. And here in this case, in this formula, it is 1 upon root of 1 plus epsilon square Cn square. That is the transfer function. So in this case, epsilon is your ripple factor, and Cn is the nth order Chebyshev polynomial. We'll see how we find this. Okay. So let's design. So these are the design steps. I think it's not visible, so I will show you a clearer view of it. So we have to follow some simple steps to design a Chebyshev filter. Okay. I guess it's visible now. So first we find the order using the stop band and pass band gain, which will be given to you. And after finding this, you can find the poles and zeros using this exhaustive method. Or as you saw in the case of Butterworth filters, you could see a pole and zero table. You can use that also to find the poles. And then since we are using this for a normalized frequency, so when we say normalized frequency, we mean pass band is equal to 1. I mean the gain is 1. So for that, sorry, not the gain, the WP is 1. So for that, when we want to find for the actual, for the desired value of WP, we replace it by S by WP, and then and then we find the filter response. That's called the amplitude response, and then we scale it again. We scale the omega part also. So this is the formula for the amplitude response. This part, and this is called the ripple factor, as I told you. So this is a small design problem that I will show you how we have designed a Chebyshev filter. So here they are given that the R ripple is 2 dB. Omega is between 0 and 10. This is the omega p value basically. This stop band gain is minus 20 dB. And this is the WS, omega S, sorry. So using the formula that we saw, we find the order, which approximately comes out to be 2.993. That is, so we round it off to 3 because n has to be an integer. Then from the table, so there is one table for Chebyshev polynomials. So from that, we have to find the coefficients of this. So since we know that the order is 3, we know that the highest power of this S value will be 3. And now from that, we will see the table. We'll come to the table here. So the value is 3. The order is 3. So for that, this is the coefficient of A0. This is the coefficient of A1, and this is the coefficient of A2. So we just have to substitute those values. So the Chebyshev polynomial table. We just substitute those values here. In this case, we substitute those values, and we get this as the polynomial. So for determining this numerator part, if the order is odd, I mean, since the order here is 3, the value of this is A0 itself, A0 of the Chebyshev polynomial. But in case the order is not odd, it's even, then we divide it by the ripple factor, not ripple factor, we divide by 1 upon epsilon square, root of 1 upon epsilon square. So we get the numerator term. Then we find the transfer function. So first we assume omega p is equal to 1 for having the normalized this, but then we scale it. so that we can find the resultant transfer function. Then, so we have found all these things. Now, as I told you, ripple factor is, epsilon square is root of r by 10 minus 1. You need to find this for using this, for finding the amplitude response for the Chebyshev polynomial. So that is given by 1 upon root of 1 plus epsilon square into C of n. C of n is your polynomial, which is again in the polynomial tables. So Chebyshev provides a lot of tables, so you can refer to that and you can solve your problem easily. You don't need to do the brute force method. So that is it, and then you find the amplitude response, and our Chebyshev design is ready. So you just have to follow these simple steps to get the Chebyshev response, Chebyshev polynomial, and yeah. So for everything, for every filter, we first design the low pass filter, and then if we want to find the high pass filter, we just do small little changes, and then you can easily find your high pass or band pass or whichever filter you want. So we first design it, we determine the transfer function, and then we just replace it. For high pass filter, we replace it by omega p by s, and then for band pass filters, we find the values of these two equations. Whichever is the lower value, we use it for finding this, and then we just replace it. We replace s with p by p of s. That's all we have to do, and by just doing these small changes, you will get your transfer function for the band pass as well as the high pass filter. So the next part, the fun part, will be explained by Pushkar. So, to you.
Fine. Are you guys there? Pranav, you have raised your hand. You want to ask something? Pranav, was it an accident? Hello, Pranav. I guess you're sleeping. No problem. Sorry, guys. There. Can I see a few raise of hands, please? All the gangsters in the house, type yes in the chat box. We'll mark your attendances, maybe. Okay, fine. Can I see a few more hand raises, please? Fine. So you're listening, no problem. So let's start with the application part. As Shruti said, the maza wala part.
Just a second, Pushkar. Guys, please be interactive, because here there is no marks as such. There is faculty, no faculty is there apart from me. So please be interactive. The more you interact, the more the session will be interesting and humoristic. So kindly be interactive. Don't be in the sleeping mode, please.
Okay, fine. You can stop with the yeses now. I know you're there. Stop it. Don't spam now. Okay, fine. So what you can see here, nature, like a true poet, abhors abrupt transitions. So what is a totally random comment doing in the middle of the lecture? Wo bhi filters ka lecture. What do I mean by this? What I want you to observe at this point is that how in every type of sciences, nature resists abrupt changes. You can see, हमने 8th standard में पढ़ा था the first law of Newton, न्यूटन का पहला law, inertia वाला law. So न्यूटन ने क्या बोला कि every object at motion likes to be at motion or at rest. Like what he means is nature is very lazy. You also saw Lenz's law in electromagnetism. How nature doesn't like any changes. How we also saw the Darwin's theory of evolution. Darwin क्या बोल रहा था? Darwin बोल रहा था कि all the evolution, this is a very slow process. Abrupt कुछ नहीं होता. हर एक science में we saw that how nature hates changes. So similarly, in the field of signals and system, in the world of signals and system, to make it happy, we have certain kind of thing, we call it filters, to avoid undesirable consequences due to this abruptness. So इसके वजह से we can respect the nature's limits. So what I mean by this, you'll come to know the visualizations, all the fun part. ये मैथ्स मेरे को बहुत बोर होता है, मेरे को ठीक से समझता भी नहीं, बहुत टाइम लगता है. सबसे पहले we'll see the application part, we'll see the graphs, how to interpret them. Also we'll see one of the applications of this thing. So we have in front of 4 types of filters. To make the dream of इसका nature का dream, that we have to respect its limits. We design the concept of filter in 4 ways. To achieve a realizable and a practical filter, we introduced these 4 types of filter. The first one was low pass filter, as was explained by Renuka. Are you guys okay with this 4 concept, or do you want me to recap in a very short bit? Can you raise your hands if you want me to recap? Are you guys okay with the 4 concept, the 4 types of filters? Can I see a few raises? Okay, fine. So we'll not review this. I hope you know what low pass filter mean. So basically what low pass filter is, it allows the frequency, it allows the signals up to a certain frequency level. It allows a lower range of frequency level as such. And high pass filter, it blocks up to a certain level. So it allows the higher range. And band pass filter allows the middle range, and band stop cuts the middle range. We'll see elaboratively in the examples that we are going to see later on. So to achieve, we first of all, let us compare an ideal filter with an with what you can say the practical one. So the diagram in front of you, can you see my cursor clearly? Can I see a few raise of hands? I'll increase the size of my cursor if it's not visible properly to you. Okay, fine. So let's see the differences between the ideal and practical filters. So you can see the red dotted wala line. Can you see the red dotted wala line beneath the blue solid line? That is what. Now, first of all, let us understand this. Which type of filter this is? Can anyone help me out here? Which type of filter this is? Can you type it in the chat? It's one of these 4 filters. Hint. It's one of these 4 filters, obviously. Which type of filter this is? Low pass. Yes, correct, Prabhat. It's a low pass filter. Why it is low pass? Ye sab kya hai? We'll see if you don't know yet. We'll see with the help of examples. If you don't know yet. So believe me when I say this is a low pass filter, right? Now the dotted line is the ideal low pass filter. What you would call an ideal low pass filter. Why this is called an ideal low pass filter? You can see if I set the frequency, the cutoff frequency to 0.4 in the x-axis, you can see my mouse hovering over 0.4. This is where I want to cut my frequencies. I don't want to allow frequencies above 0.4. So what does this graph tell me? The staircase जैसा दिखने वाला जो graph है. First of all, I want you to know that this is called a brick wall filter, brick wall kind of graph. Because this kind of looks like a wall brick, the vertical ऐसा दिख रहा है ना, ये wall की तरह दिखता है. This is why this is called a brick wall filter, a brick wall graph, as to say. So you can see 3 basic things in this brick wall filter. The dotted wala, I want you to just concentrate on the red dotted wala line and nothing else. Just ignore all the other graphs that are there in the plot. Just ignore everything else and just concentrate on the red dotted wala graph. You can see my mouse hovering over that graph, right? Right? Can you see the red dotted wala graph? Can you zone in on the red dotted wala graph? Raise your hands. Raise your hands, guys, please.
It's a natural response, no? It's actual response.
Sorry, Ritik?
The red one is the actual response, no?
Yes, correct. That is the actual ideal response. So what I want you to exactly observe, I know this is an actual response. You also know this is an actual response. But मैं इसका करूँ क्या रे? मैं इसका करूँ क्या? What I want you to take away from this brick wall graph, which brick wall graph basically that looks like a wall made of bricks. So what I want you to observe here, as Renuka rightly said in the introduction, the part in the left of the जो step का बड़ा वाला part है ना, जो ऊपर वाला elevated part है, that is the pass band, correct? And the step का नीचे वाला part is called what? Is called what? Yes, Ritik? Yes, correct. It's called stop band, right? So one thing to notice here is that there is an abrupt transition between pass band and stop band, correct? Directly नीचे से ऊपर गिर रहा है. This is like a squarish wave kind of thing you are seeing here. The transition is like square transition. There's an abrupt transition between pass band to stop band, or stop band to pass band if you choose to go from left to right, if you're an Urdu fan, whatever. And the next thing I want to observe here, is there is no attenuation in pass band. Sorry, there is no attenuation in pass band. The line is completely flat. Ekdam flat line hai. Can you see the flat line? Can you raise your hands if you see the flat line? If you observe the flat line, can you raise your hands? Okay, fine. And the third and the last important thing I want you to know, I want you to observe, is that there is infinite attenuation in the stop band. frequency का magnitude completely zero है. There is infinite attenuation in the stop band. Okay, so you now have three things in mind. First, transition abrupt हो रहा है. Second, attenuation pass band में नहीं हो रहा. Third, infinite attenuation हो रहा है stop band में. Now, let's talk about practical filters for a moment. Now forget about the red line for a moment and just concentrate on the solid blue line here. Now, obviously there are few changes. There obviously हम लोग को we can see the obvious changes, the obvious differences between those two graphs. Now, वही 3 points याद रख के we will figure out the changes. The changes, the first change that I observed was कि directly नीचे नहीं गिर रहा. There is a gradual transition. There is a transition width. This is the technique. I'm using a technical term here. There is a transition width. Roll off fast नहीं हो रहा. Roll off fast होना मतलब transition width छोटा होना. This is what I wanted to know. These technical terms I wanted to remember for later point of time. So ठीक है. Roll off fast नहीं हो रहा, transition fast नहीं हो रहा, थोड़ा सा time लग रहा है transition होने को. And the next thing I wanted to observe कि यहाँ पे pass band में attenuation हो रहा है. Now what do I mean by attenuation? कि मतलब इसका amplitude बदल रहा है, कम हो रहा है. मतलब there is a change in magnitude in pass band. It is non-zero, but it is still negligible. We can still assume it negligible, but it's still non-zero. It is important to know that it's non-zero. And also the band pass, the stop band वाला part, it completely attenuate नहीं हो रहा. This is not completely zero. So okay, now you have three things in mind. You have firstly we saw two different types of graphs, the ideal one and practical one, and दोनों graphs में से दोनों ऐसे applications में से we extracted three specific points about the transition, about the pass band, and about the stop band. So what I want you to understand here now, for designing any ideal filter, you just needed one specification. That was the cutoff frequency, right? बाकी सबकी तो जरूरत नहीं थी. There was no attenuation in the stop band. There was infinite attenuation in stop band. There was no attenuation in pass band. बस एक cutoff frequency was able to define everything to me. Now, for practical filters, we needed 4 different things. Obviously, we needed a cutoff frequency. Then we also needed a stop band frequency because there was a transition width. The transition was not immediate. There was a width. We also needed something called as pass band ripple, a ripple factor kind of thing that Shruti explained. So what does this ripple factor exactly mean? It has something to deal with the upar niche topi vati as Najib sir says, topi vati kind of concept in the pass band and stop band. So you can expect fluctuation in the magnitude response of the filter. And this fluctuation in magnitude response can be explained with the help of this pass band ripple. And also the stop band attenuation or stop band ripple, as the frequency is also not directly zero, not ideally zero. So we need these 4 things. Now, playing around these 4 different things, we came across different types of approximations, right? So the approximations that you saw here, that was just explained, the Butterworth and Chebyshev specifically, had to deal with any one or multiple of these specifications that I told you. Is everything clear till now? Can I see a few raises or yeses in the chat? Now we'll be actually seeing the applications. Can I see a few yeses in the chat? Okay, fine. Now we'll look at every filter one by one, the unke graph ki nature and everything. Now, first of all, let us look at Butterworth filter. Butterworth filter, as smooth as butter. What do I mean by this? So this is software that I got yesterday for simulation. Can you see everything clearly in the software? Can I see a few raises? Just a few. Can you see everything clearly? Okay, fine. Now let's keep aside all the specification. How do we design? How do we simulate everything? And just focus on the Butterworth ka graph. what do you see from the Butterworth ka graph is that the flat band which I told you is completely flat. इसमें कोई ripples नहीं है. इसमें कोई ripples नहीं है. So this is why Butterworth is also called as maximally flat response or something. This is pass band is ripple free. So we'll also look at advantages, each and every advantages over each other, and also you can see that there is some transition width. Directly zero nahi ho raha. So there is considerable roll off. I'm using technical term again here, and for first order the roll off is minus 20 decibels per decade. Let's just keep in mind all the technicalities. What does first of all, what does minus 20 per decade mean? It means that when we increase frequency 10 folds, you're gonna see change in magnitude by a factor of 10. So firstly, let me just show you a first order Butterworth ka graph. When I plotted the first order Butterworth, I wanted to concentrate just on the black wala graph, not on the red wala graph. The red wala is the phase wala graph. We are just going to see the magnitude part. So as you can see, as Renuka rightly said, as I'm increasing the order, the roll off is getting steeper. देखो मैंने 1 से 2 किया. Now the roll off is minus 40 decibels per decade. Now when I did 3, it is minus 60 decibels per decade. Now, so to generalize this everything, the roll off is minus 20 times n decades per second, where n is the order. So this is my 4th order, this is my 5th order. So the advantage of this Butterworth filter, the major takeaway that you have to understand from the simple sa ye chota sa graph is that there is no passband in the ripple, meaning the frequency response of all the frequencies below 1000 hertz, below my cutoff frequency, is the same. There is no change. And also the circuit is pretty simple to implement, right? Bas do op amps laga liye and your active filter is now ready. Now, but the major disadvantage that this offers is this big transition gap. So this we want to avoid. So the next thing that we'll look after the Butterworth filter is a Chebyshev filter. ये दो हमने आज पढ़े, Chebyshev and Butterworth. Now what I want you to understand, what I'm calling it, Chebyshev को मैं क्या बुला रहा हूँ slide पे देखो, is jack of all trades but master of none. Why am I calling him jack of all trades and master of none? We'll learn when we'll directly compare each and every filters one by one. But what I want you to take from this graph is that there are ripples in the pass band, correct? There are ripples in the pass band, and you can see a chota sa, relatively smaller transition width. But this is let me be clear, this is the type 1 Chebyshev filter. If this were a type 2 Chebyshev filter, the ripples would have been in the stop band. So you can see the direct differences between Chebyshev 1 filter and Chebyshev 2 filter. For example, let me tell you that this particular graphs are for different filters designed for the same cutoff frequency, right? The cutoff frequency सबका same है. So for the cutoff frequency same होने के लिए Butterworth को we had to operate Butterworth in a higher mode, higher stage, higher order. And for Chebyshev, a lower order worked. Let me show you an actual example. Let's say my cutoff frequency is 10 kilohertz. This is another software which I'm analog.com में है, which I'm taking help. It minus 10 kilohertz में मुझे cutoff चाहिए. Now the graph you are seeing in front of you is for Bessel filters. We'll come to Bessel filters later. We'll just overview what Bessel and elliptic are later. Now see, if I इसमें अगर मैंने बीच में रखा, so you can see here cursor. Can you see my cursor? You can see we are using a 4th order Butterworth filter in order to achieve a 10 kilohertz ka cutoff. In the same way, if I change it to the leftmost Chebyshev, 3rd order Chebyshev did the work for me. So that is what I mean by the transition ka width. So basically, Chebyshev will have a ripple on the Chebyshev type 1 specifically will have a ripple on the pass band, and type 2 will have a ripple on the stop band, and the transition will be faster. The roll off rate will be faster than that of Butterworth. Now the next filter that we're going to just hover, ज़्यादा नहीं देखेंगे इसके बारे में deep में, just we'll see the next filter is the elliptic filter, as sharp as a whip. So what do I mean by as sharp as a whip? You can clearly see. Can anyone help me out here? What do I mean by sharp as a whip? If anyone wants to volunteer. Anyone?
Transition width is not there.
Yes. You're right about the transition wala part, but I want to. Transition is very sharp. This is what I mean by sharp as a width. As you can, मतलब इधर देख सकते हो तुम लोग, how directly it fall almost vertically down to stop band level. Correct. So this is what is the advantage of the elliptic filter approximation. It has the best kind of roll off rate. It transition is very fast, but the disadvantage that it offers is that there is ripple on both the sides of the graph, pass band and stop band both. So for example, you want हमारा कोई application है जिसमें we don't care about the neighboring frequencies, cutoff के आजू बाजू वाले frequencies. If you don't care about that, you just care about the transition, then you'll choose a elliptic filter, right? Now the next filter, the last filter that we're going to see in short is the Bessel filter. Now one more thing that I want you to observe is, देखो मैंने order जब 4 रखा तो 2 ripples आया, टोपी 1 वाटी 1, correct? Now if I 6 करता तो मुझे 3 टोपी वाटी आते, correct? So what do I mean is the number of ripples is n by 2, where n is the order. Now coming back to the Bessel filter, as you can see, the Bessel filter is approximately it looks just like Butterworth filter. If I plot both of them, देखो, this was the Butterworth filter and this one was the Bessel filter. दोनों एक जैसे दिखते हैं, but what is the difference between these two? We're going to understand with the help of this tool. We'll just plot the step response of this curve. You can see the step response of Chebyshev curve. It is बहुत uneven है, बहुत ripples है. You can see the step response of Butterworth now. You can see थोड़ा सा कम है पर है, Chebyshev से कम है पर है. But when I set it to Bessel, मानता हूं मैं इसमें ऑर्डर ज्यादा लगेगा for achieving the same kind of cutoff, but you can see that the step response is pretty good. So what do I mean? The phase versus frequency relationship here is almost linear, and this is very good for this is therefore very good for non-sinusoidal signals. So any doubts up till here? Can you raise your hands if you understood everything? Okay, fine. The thing I explained earlier, that I need more orders, I need higher orders of filter in order to achieve the same kind of cutoff, is explained in this table. So how do you read this table exactly? FC 3 decibel is my cutoff frequency, and in the second column I have a frequency which lies in the stop band region. So greater the attenuation, more is the advantage of that filter, right? Because stop band almost 0 हो रहा है, attenuate ज़्यादा हो रहा है. We want more attenuation in the stop band, right? So as you can see, elliptic filter offers me the best kind of attenuation, 93 decibels, and afterwards we have Chebyshev, then we have Butterworth, and Bessel is not so good in terms of attenuating the band gap wala frequencies. Sorry, the band pass wala filters. Now let us shortly look at the comparisons of different approximations. As you saw by the graph, elliptic filter had a rippled response in both pass band and stop band. It was very poor in terms of frequency response, in terms of step response, I'm sorry. And while Bessel was the best, and Chebyshev was rippled in one of the bands, and it had a poor step response as well, as we saw in the graph. टोपी वाटी ज़्यादा था उसका. So ये सब होने के बाद, after this, let us look at one more interesting application of all these 4 kinds of filters, correct? Are you guys enjoying this? Can I see a few raises of hands? Do you want me to continue? Can I see a few more? Fine. So हम लोग application देखते हैं. we'll see application of filters on audio signals. So what I have here is my हमेशा का audio editing software. ये मैंने परसों रिकॉर्ड किया था few days ago. I wanted to listen without applying any filters. अभी मैं कुछ filters नहीं apply कर रहा इसमें. I just wanted to listen. And I want to tell me if you can hear it because मुझे नहीं पता if it is going to be audible or not. Just listen. I'll play it for 5 seconds. Can you listen to this? Was my audio? It was audible.
Yes.
Fine. So as you can see, audio signal basically क्या है? It is bunch of frequencies, right? Frequencies that lie between 20 to 20 kilohertz. That is the human जो रेंज जिसमें ह्यूमन सुन सकता है, आदमी सुन सकता है, एक नॉर्मल आदमी सुन सकता है. तो नोटिस कि आई हैव सर्टन ऑडियो सिग्नल हियर जो मैंने बचाया कुछ भी, एंड देयर इज अ साइलेंस हियर, साइलेंस यहाँ पे कुछ नहीं है. इफ आई प्ले दिस, कंप्लीट साइलेंस, करेक्ट. Now if I plot this spectrum in terms of frequency, you can see there is a huge boost over 200 hertz, which is basically जो रूम का जो हवा का नॉइज है, जो भी बैकग्राउंड नॉइज है ना, it lies in the lower part of frequency range. So how does this filter help me in this case? It is pretty straightforward. It is pretty self-explanatory, intuitive and straightforward. Now obviously मुझे unwanted frequency है किसी एक point पे. I want to remove that frequency. So I'll use a kind of filter because a filter, we know filter क्या करता है, एक point तक pass करने देता है, दूसरे फिर उसके बाद में रुका देता है completely. Now in musical language, this filtering and all we do in something called as an equalizer, correct? Sorry, this is my audio equalizer. Now you can see the frequencies on the x-axis, 20 hertz to 20 kilohertz. These are the human auditory, इसमें human सुन सकता है वो वाले ranges. Now I saw that मुझे 200 hertz में बहुत सारा noise मिल रहा था, तो I will just cut it from here. I'll just cut every frequencies below this, and now I'll okay this simply. Now if I now plot the spectrum of this part, you can see the frequency here cut हुआ है. मैंने 200 hertz से ज़्यादा नहीं किया. That's why this still exists. I don't want it to be complete silence. That's why this still exists. I want it to appear natural. Now we've learned how to analyze frequencies in terms of audio, how equalization helps me. Now let's specifically look at the 4 kinds of filter that we saw: the low pass filter, the high pass filter, the band pass filter. Now I'm selecting a part of audio here. Just listen it again without applying any filters. I'm playing it for you again. Fine, pretty good. Now let's say I'm applying a low pass filter in this region. I'm opening the filter curve again. I'm applying a low pass filter, and I'm saying that I want around 200 hertz में मुझे कट ऑफ फ्रीक्वेंसी चाहिए. 200 hertz में मुझे कट ऑफ फ्रीक्वेंसी चाहिए. तो I'll just boost from 200 frequency तक, और I'll just cut. So basically this is what I meant by brick wall वाला ideal low pass filter. This is brick wall ideal low pass filter. I'm applying the ideal low pass filter जिसमें 200 hertz तक frequency pass होगी और आगे का सब कट होगा. Now what I want you to note here is जो मेरी गिटार है ना, मेरी गिटार है which lies in the mid range of the part. It lies in the mid range of the part. And मेरा जो bass है ना, जो धक 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 आवाज करता है, which is not there in this audio, it lies in this left half of the graph. So what we will observe here कि bass यहाँ पे boost होगा. So we'll use this in application for boosting bass, for cutting bass, for increasing treble. We'll look at treble later. Now I'll just okay this, and now you see the difference in the audio. Can you see the difference? Can anyone raise your hands? If anyone wants to volunteer, can you even tell me what the difference was?
You can't hear the guitar.
Yes, but yes, I can't hear the guitar, correct. And also धक 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 से ऐसा कुछ सुनाई दे रहा है कुछ तो, but मैंने तो drums बजाया ही नहीं था, फिर भी धक 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 धक.
Hit the guitar. So when your hand hits the strings.
Yes, when my hand involuntarily hit the string by accident, or maybe my action of plucking the guitar made that sound and it boosted the lower band of frequency, was boosted, bass boost हुआ यहाँ पे. So I will use low pass filter. I will use low pass filter for boosting the bass. Now let us look at the high pass filter for a moment. Let's just be very quick at this point, because you have got the hang of what this means. Now let's say I am boosting after let's say 1000 kilohertz, 1000 hertz, sorry, 1000 hertz. Now this is a high pass filter. Are you okay with the fact that this is a high pass filter? Can you raise your hands if you know why this is a high pass filter? Can you raise your hands real quick? Okay, fine, very good. Now I'll just okay this one out. And now you can really see that इतना बड़ा changes जो सामने waveform में भी दिख रहा है. You saw the waveform की mid मतलब कितना. Now I'll just play this without time pass करें. I'll just play this. You can see that treble, the sharpness, the shrillness of the sound is increased manifold. Now this is not what I do ideally for editing audio signal, but just to show you the extreme effects of low pass and band pass filter on audio signals. This is just a demo. Now let's take a quick look at the band pass filter. So band pass filter is what I would be interested in when I'm doing it for guitar. Now again, I'll do a very extreme band pass filter here. So it will not give me good results, but just to show you how the changes are taken place in terms of audio. Now I'm cutting all the frequencies below 100 hertz and all the frequencies above 2000 hertz. I'm boosting everything in between. Now if I okay this one out, if you listen now, you can see कि गिटार का आवाज कुछ ज्यादा ही बड़ा है. Can you notice the difference between all these three filters? Notice the difference. Can you visualize everything now, how this filter works? Can you show me by a raise of hands? Can you show me? By the time I'll just do the last one, the band reject filter. वो इससे बस उल्टा होगा. We will boost everything above a certain point, like this. It gets very tiresome without a proper computer mouse, so just bear with me. And I'll cut everything in the middle. So what I would be expecting कि मुझे गिटार का आवाज इतना अच्छे से नहीं आए, मतलब बहुत कट क्या है, मतलब प्रैक्टिकली आए ही ना, बट आएगा क्योंकि नॉट मेरे गिटार का फ्रीक्वेंसी एग्जैक्टली डजंट लाई बिटवीन दिस रेंज. इट लाइज समवेयर, इधर भी थोड़ा सा. आई डोंट नो द एग्जैक्ट, मतलब आई नो द एग्जैक्ट, बट कुछ सुनाई देगा तो क्या मजा आएगा ना. So let's play this now. So you can see a major difference in this as well. So now you have understood the practical applications of this 4 types of filters and how this 4 types of filter help you. Now जो मैंने program अभी run किया ना, equalizer program, this can be made using MATLAB as well, which will be explained later, which will be explained now after a few minutes by my friends. So at this point, do you have any doubts? We're starting with the practicals now. We'll be learning to implement these types of filters in MATLAB using the approximation that we saw just now. Do you have any doubts?
So I think whatever you shown is a part of digital filtering kind of.
Is audio digital signal?
No, I am telling that whatever filter you showed by pulling down the gain and pushing it up, that is happening in a digital domain, right?
Actually, the way the equalizer works is not exactly on a digital domain. I guess it's not on digital domain. It's
because we will never be able to get that straight line of transition, what you said earlier.
Yes, it is
If we implement practically.
Yes, correct.
So I think that is on digital domain.
I'm not sure about that. Let me just take a look. By the meantime, we'll have a few more questions if you are. By the meantime, you can start presenting, Dhananjay.
Oh, just in the meantime, can you show your screen, present your screen right now? As we are going to see the MATLAB.
Yes, now Bilal will continue. I will just present the screen.
Yeah, just a sec, guys. Like before Pushkar discharge his control, I would like to add one thing. Like Pushkar and his group members are actually working on a music project. They are working on music tone generation using 8051 in their SEM4 minor project. And looking at the way he has presented, really very amount of efforts he has taken, and the way he has explained, बहुत अच्छा explanation लगा हमको. I am getting the messages from the students of third year as well. Seriously, sir, being a second year student, the amount of work he has done and the amount of efforts he has taken seems to be like it is a remarkable. Like there are no words to explain and to give the appreciation. Like the way you explain better, it is very nice. Like very बहुत अच्छा लगा हमको देखकर.
Thank you, sir.
You made my day actually.
Okay, so am I audible? Oh yes, बोल दो please.
Yes, Bilal, you can go on.
So अभी अपन ने जो है बहुत ज़्यादा we've seen a lot of theory, right? So थोड़ा भी MATLAB के कोड वाले पार्ट पे जाते हैं, उस पर भी ज़्यादा काफ़ी मज़ा आता है, right? कोडिंग वाले पार्ट में. So this is the problem statement given to us where it is said design a low pass filter to satisfy the passband requirements. अब ये जो line है ना satisfy passband requirements, इसको थोड़ा याद रखना है, बाद में use आएगा इसका. And we've been given some info. We've been given the passband frequency. We've been given the as 100 radians per second. We've been given the stop band frequency as 200 again in radians per second. Then passband gain and stop band gain. This is by default we've taken this in dB, decibel. So just code wala part dikhate. Could you zoom into the code? Possible. Okay. So step 1 is basically determining the order n. So basically in the first line what we've done is we've defined the like a row matrix S. The specifications that were given to us, we just defined them again as WP, WS, GP, GS.
Bilal, be little louder है बेटा, आपका थोड़ा आवाज slow आ रहा है.
अच्छा सर, अभी सही है?
हाँ, okay. I'll keep your microphone near to your mouth.
Okay sir. So I'll start again. So step 1 is basically determining the order n, where the first line we've defined S as a row matrix. Then the specifications that were given to us WP, WS, GP, GS, we've defined them as well. P1, P2 मैं आपको अगले लाइन में समझाता हूँ. P1, P2 and WSP. That's basically for simplicity we have used. So NC is basically the formula is log of 10 raised to 0.1 GS minus of 0.1 GS. अब वो minus of 0.1 GS को अपन ने P1 लिखा है. As you can see ऊपर लिखा है minus of GS by 10, which is basically minus 0.1 GS. So the formula goes 10 raised to minus 0.1 GS minus 1 divided by 10 raised to minus of 0.1 GP, again P2 को वैसा define किया, minus 1, and you divide the whole thing by 2 into log of WS by WP, जिसको WSP से अपन ने define किया. It's basically for simplicity, इसका ज़रूरत नहीं. If you don't want to write it, it's not a problem. अभी इससे जो वैल्यू आएगा NC का जो वैल्यू आएगा, इट माइट बी समथिंग लाइक 4.8 हो गया या 4.7 हो गया. अब ऑर्डर ऐसा थोड़ी होता है. Order has to be an integer, so we use the ceil function which helps us to like round off कर देता है वैल्यू को. 4.8 हुआ तो फिर उसको 5 कर देगा. So this is the step 1 where we determine the order n. Step 2 में हम लोग कट ऑफ फ्रीक्वेंसी निकाल रहे हैं. अगेन कट ऑफ फ्रीक्वेंसी का फॉर्मूला इज WP. अच्छा हाँ, इधर मैंने आपको बोला था satisfy passband requirements वाला याद रखने. That is because that is why we are using this formula. अगर क्वेश्चन में होता satisfy the stop band requirements तो WP की जगह WS आता, P2 के जगह P1 आता. So since हमारे क्वेश्चन में we've been given कि satisfy the passband requirements, इसीलिए ये फॉर्मूला यूज कर रहे हैं. But the cutoff frequency is given as WP upon 10 raised to minus of 0.1 GP minus 1, the whole raised to 1 by 2 into n. So इससे अपने को कट ऑफ फ्रीक्वेंसी का वैल्यू आ जाएगा बेस्ड ऑन द ऑर्डर. अपन ने n ऊपर ऑर्डर निकाला था जिसकी वजह से वी आर यूजिंग इट हियर फॉर डिटरमिन द कट ऑफ फ्रीक्वेंसी. अभी स्टेप 3 में वी हैव टू डाउन मेक द ट्रांसफर फंक्शन. सो ट्रांसफर फंक्शन के लिए वी नीड द पोल वैल्यूज नाउ. अभी पोल वैल्यूज के लिए देयर इज जैसे n is like 5, right? So you have when you have n, you have 2 into n poles. Like अगर n मेरा 5 है तो I'll have 10 poles. So अगर 10 poles है मेरे पास तो actually क्या होता है, since if there are odd number, the order is odd, like 5 is odd, right? So the poles, how will they be placed? There will be one will be there on the real axis in the S plane, and the other ones will be complex conjugates of one, like complex conjugate pairs we will be having. That's why हम लोग से 1 to n कर रहे हैं, 1 to 2n नहीं कर रहे, क्योंकि अगर 1 to n तक करेंगे तो 5 वैल्यूज हम लोग को आ जाएंगी, उसी तरीके से उसका पेयर वाला वैल्यू अपने को पता चल जाएगा. सो द फॉर्मूला इसमें वापस से लूप लगाया 1 to, जैसे n को 5 मान रहा हूँ मैं. सो 1 to 5 a का अगेन मैं आपको नीचे वाले फॉर्मूला में समझाता हूँ. सो एस के का फॉर्मूला होता है, इट इज removing cos of a is basically this 2 into k minus 1 plus n plus 1, which basically simplifies to 2k plus n minus 1. Abhi k, n is your order, k is an integer which goes from 1, 2 and so on up to 2n. तो अगर n मेरा 5 है तो k का value will range from 1 to 10 with 10 inclusive. So sk का formula हो जाता है cos of a, which is this value, into pi plus j into sin of a into pi. Again simplicity के लिए लिखा ताकि sk वाला expression थोड़ा अच्छा लगे. And उसके बाद हम लोग ने s को ऊपर we are defined it as a row matrix, right? So initial अभी इसमें we are basically adding the values one after the other. मतलब मान लो sk का value मान लो मेरा 1 आता है, just for example. तो s initially मेरा blank था ना, तो blank के साथ एक 1 add हो जाएगा. So that's how my s will become 1 then. नेक्स्ट इटरेशन में मान लो एस के का वैल्यू 2 आता है तो फिर 1 इनिशियली एस वाज 1, उसके साथ पर एस के का वैल्यू 2 विल गेट एडेड, तो ऐसे 5 वैल्यूज आ जाएंगी. सो दिस इज हाउ दिस लूप रन्स. उसके बाद या फिर हम लोग ने उसका एक्चुअली ट्रांसपोज लिया ताकि वो रो मैट्रिक्स से कॉलम मैट्रिक्स बन जाए. नाउ आफ्टर इट्स अ कॉलम मैट्रिक्स. उसके बाद अभी द थिंग अबाउट ट्रांसफर फंक्शन, दैट नॉर्मल ट्रांसफर फंक्शन इज कि we basically take all 2n poles will lie on a unit circle in the S plane and the space between each of them will be pi by n. So इसका मीनिंग होता है कि मतलब एक S plane में एक यूनिट सर्कल बना दो विथ ओरिजिन एज द सेंटर, और जो भी सारे पोल्स होंगे ना वो उस पर लाई करेंगे. सो अगर सारे पोल, एंड एज आई थिंक पहले मेंशन हुआ था कि ट्रांसफर फंक्शन इसमें निकालने के लिए वी ओनली यूज पोल्स, द जीरोज आर कंसिडर्ड एज इन्फिनिटी इन बटरवर्थ. तो उसकी वजह से हम लोगों ने num1 को डिफाइन किया है 0 and 1 ताकि न्यूमरेटर में से 1 आएगा. देन 1 में हम लोग ने जो s निकाला था उसको पूरा पॉलिनोमियल फॉर्मेट में वो बना देगा. लाइक अगर s रेस टू 3 या s रेस टू 2 जो भी ऑर्डर है उसका, उसके अकॉर्डिंग वो एक इक्वेशन बना देगा. सो दैट विल बेसिकली गिव यू योर num1 एंड den1. फिर उसको अगर ट्रांसफर फंक्शन करके लिखेंगे लाइक tf num1 den1, तो यू विल गेट द ट्रांसफर फंक्शन. सो दिस वाज स्टेप 3 where you determine the normalized transfer function. अब स्टेप 4 से ओजस विल कंटिन्यू.
Hello, is my voice audible?
Yes.
Okay. So अभी तक जो भी हुआ, ये अगर फॉर्मूला नहीं देख के समझ में आया तो यहाँ पे देख सकते हैं फॉर्मूला. जो बिलाल ने अभी तक फॉर्मूला यूज किए थे वो ये वाले फॉर्मूला थे. जो फर्स्ट फॉर्मूला उसने यूज किया था ना ऑर्डर डिफाइन करने का, वो ये था. तो वो हमारे पास एक ही मैटलैब का स्क्रीन है तो कोऑर्डिनेशन का थोड़ा प्रॉब्लम है. तो ही यूज दिस फार्मूला फर्स्ट, सो आई विल जस्ट एक्सप्लेन इट वन बाय वन. ही यूज दिस फार्मूला. सो व्हाट ही सेड अबाउट P1 and P2, दिस इज द सेम थिंग. सो GP by 10 and GS by 10, which is what he did with P1 and P2. So this formula was used, and then the next formula he talked about was I think, yes, SK1. So that formula was here. Yes. Yes, this formula. So we have converted this e raised to j pi by 2n in by Euler's formula. So this is what we have written in the MATLAB code. So this will be printed, and I hope you have understand the normalized transfer function. So in the normalized transfer function, we considered WC omega c as 1. So now to determine the final transfer function, we have to take the actual value of omega c. So now we will replace s by omega c. So even here there was s by omega c, but the value of omega c we assumed to be 1. So now in this transfer function, the final transfer function which we are going to find out here. Yes. So as you can see here, I have written omega c raised to n. This is because when you will write it like this, so 1 upon s by omega c. So this omega c we will take on the numerator, and it will be omega c raised to n. N is the number of poles, the order which we have taken. And so the numerator will be, the numerator will be omega c raised to n, and the denominator will be, we have taken the Pauli function and multiplied omega c with s transpose. So now we have written, we are giving the we are taking the output. The filter order is the filter n, which we calculated in the first step, the order n, and then we have printed the cutoff frequency. Cutoff frequency is WC, which we calculated in the second step, this, and then display the poles of the transfer function. Poles are the s, which we calculated in step 3. Step 3. This s will tell us the poles. And then we have displaying the transfer function. So what is the transfer function? It will be the numerator upon denominator. So we have used ABS to give the absolute value. So this will be the normalized transfer function, which is the numerator 1 and denominator 1, which we calculated in step 3. And in the final transfer function is numerator 2 divided by denominator 2, which we calculated in step 4. Now to plot the graph of the Butterworth filter. So first, as you all know, we do the graph of low pass filter. So here we have set omega as 0 with a step increase of 0.01 till omega stop band. So this is the formula to plot it. So here magnitude, phase, and omega is equal to Bode num to num. So you can see the syntax here. This is the syntax: magnitude, phase, and omega, and the Bode system. So this will plot it. So in subplot 211 we can see, and we plot omega with the magnitude, and we have put the labels frequency. So as you can see, this graph shows the Butterworth of low pass filter, and then in step 6 we convert the low pass filter to high pass filter. So we use this syntax. So here is the syntax. This is the syntax to convert low pass filter to high pass filter. So we use this formula, as you can see, and we convert it, and we have converted it, and all the values which we displayed in the step 4. Yes, the filter order which we calculated in this question is 5. The cutoff frequency calculated is 114.476, and the poles are these. As you can see, as there are 5, the order is 5, there are 5 poles, and these are the complex conjugates of each other with -1 being this. If you want to see the representation, here is, so the poles will look like these. As there are odd poles, 2 poles will be here, 2 poles will be here, and 1 pole will be at -1. Here you can see those. And this is the normalized transfer function, first one, this, and this is the final transfer function. So now, do you have any doubts? Or otherwise, Dhananjay and Aniket will show this using the inbuilt functions of MATLAB. Hello.
Guys, you all can ask doubts if you have any.
Yes, if you have
Please
any
put it in
doubts
the
in the
chat
code
box
or
if
anything,
you are not able to
I
speak
will
up.
also share the code with everyone in the chat or in WhatsApp groups if you want. This is the graph of low pass filter and this is the high pass filter. As Pushkar already explained, what you can interpret from this graph. So this graph in the low pass filter will allow the low frequencies to pass and will stop the high frequencies. And high pass filter will allow high frequencies and stop the low frequency. Are there any doubts in the code or anything you can ask? Otherwise, Dhananjay and Aniket will continue.
Yeah, okay. It seems that there are no doubts right now. So Aniket, could you present the screen?
Okay, great.
Yeah, so until now, all of you have seen the lengthy method of designing a low pass filter and the Butterworth filters, Chebyshev filters, etc. Now we'll show you the inbuilt functions which are there to design the Butterworth filter or the Chebyshev or the other types of filters.
Just a minute, Dhananjay, before you continue. As he showed you, as Ojas showed you, there is LP to HP, which directly converts it into a high pass filter. Similarly, there is LP to BP for band pass and band stop, which will give you the following outputs. So the top, as you can see, is the high pass filter converted to high pass. This is the band pass filter, and this is the band stop filter. And Dhananjay, you may continue.
Okay, so Aniket, so right now at first we have
What was there on the right hand side?
Yeah, okay.
Phase plot.
Yeah, Janil.
Aniket had just shown a graph.
Aniket, show the graph.
Sorry to interrupt.
I think he was talking about the other
Yes, I was talking about what was there on the right hand side.
Yeah.
This graph.
Yes,
So this is the phase plot, I think.
Okay, phase.
The right hand is the phase plot.
Yeah, this left side we have the magnitude versus the frequency, and here it is the phase versus the angular frequency.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so basically here we are just defining the omega p, omega s, and the gains for the Butterworth filter, or the each filter which we are going to design, analog filters, and then there is a function, inbuilt function, but or to define the Butterworth filter, lowest order of the Butterworth filter, and the ripple factor. So as you can see here, the angular frequency omega n, that is the normalized frequency, is being inserted into a matrix with the lowest order, that is n, and then the butter will convert it into a low pass filter design. The LOW which is written here is for low pass filter. Now you can also insert high or stop, such as these kind of words to make it into a high pass filter or a stop band filter, etc. Secondly, we are plotting the Bode plot, which can only give the magnitude and the phase plots of the low pass filter or the high pass filter which we are designing. Next, These are the subplotting. The Aniket, just run the code. Yeah, so as you can see, the Butterworth filter is being shown here. This is the magnitude versus the angular frequency, and and here we can see the phase versus the angular frequency graph. Now, so that's about it. And secondly, we have the there are also functions, inbuilt functions for Chebyshev, for the designing of a Chebyshev filter. So similarly as Butlord, here we have Cheblord. This will also give the same, the normalized frequency and the order. And then we have now we are also, there are two types of Chebyshev filter, that is Chebyshev 1 and Chebyshev 2. So he'll show the Chebyshev 1 type.
So here we have the Chebyshev 1 filter.
Yeah.
And now all I have to do in this code is, sorry.
Now to plot the Chebyshev 2 type of filter, what he has to do is just change it to Cheb 2 and Cheblord also, Aniket, I think, Cheb 2 odd. I think there is, no, not 1, 2. Anyway, this also
we can do, see the graph has changed to a type 2 filter. And as Pushkar had explained, the pass band is flat and there are ripples in the stop band.
Yeah, and it has a steeper roll-off. The Chebyshev filter have a steeper roll-off than the Butterworth filters. Now over to you, Aniket. You can explain the elliptical and the other filters.
So now we continue on to the Bessel filters. As you can see, we get n, which is the order, and omega n, which is the cutoff frequency, by inserting the values of pass band, stop band, gain for pass band and gain for stop band into the Butterworth order filter. Now why we are using this here in Bessel is because Bessel and Butterworth are nearly similar, and hence their order turns out to be the same. And coincidentally, there is no other Bessel, you can say, equation to get the order of Bessel filter directly. Now, Bessel f is the function which gives us the numerator and denominator of the transfer function for this particular filter. Okay, it takes in the order, the cutoff frequency, and it outputs the numerator and denominator of the transfer functions. And as Dhananjay has explained, we take up the Bode plot, providing numerator, denominator, and omega. Omega is the x-axis, which is the range of frequencies. And now we will plot this. So as you can see, this is the Bessel filter. It is very similar to the original Butterworth filter which we saw. The only difference being this graph. This is the phase plot, and as you can see, this is an extremely smooth phase plot. That is, the change in phase for the frequency range is extremely smooth, and this is the advantage of having a Bessel filter. Next, we will continue onwards to the last elliptical filters, and as you can see, ellip odd, which gives us the order of the elliptical filter and cutoff frequency, the numerator and denominator of the transfer functions, and yeah, that's about it. So I will run this entire code, and here you can see all of the filters. As I said, the Bessel filter has a much smoother phase plot than the Butterworth, and that is the only major difference, apart from its roll-off being much longer than Butterworth. This is the only significant advantage of Bessel, and that is why we have Bessel available here. Anybody would like to expand on that? Any doubts? Hello, guys. Any doubts?
Finished. We are finished with the. Sorry about that.
So
Guys,
basically,
now
guys,
we are finished with the whole presentation. So if you have any doubts, you can ask it right now.